Now, let's talk about bees in the Channel Islands. As part of my PhD dissertation, I study how different are the communities of bees that we observe in the mainland in comparison to the ones living in some of the Channel Islands. Channel Islands is an archipelago made of 8 islands nearby the coast of LA in California, and I am studying 4 of these islands. This is a view of Santa Cruz Island from the ferry. I am not only interested on studying the bee community across different sites, I am also exploring how does the microbiota associated to these insects changes from one island to another. This is my friend Chris Allen. He is a grad student in the Wilson Rankin Lab and he is also conducting fieldwork in the islands. Chris is interested in bee pathogens, so we usually travel together to the island locations and help each other in the field work. Before the pandemic, we had the opportunity to visit Santa Cruz Island, but we had to interrupt our 2020 field season. Fortunately, this year, in April, we are going back to the islands to collect bees and their microbes. This is how we collect them. Here we are in a patch that has a lot of morning glory and some lupin up there. What we are doing in the field is basically collecting the bees with these kind of nets. So we are stringing the flowers this way, and then once we get a bee, we have some sterile and really clean vials inside of this bag, and we put the bee inside each individual separately, and we frozen that individual because we are really interested on the pathogens and in all the bacteria and fungi that are living inside of the stomach. So we need to keep all DNA frozen, preserved. So maybe you are asking why we are wearing gloves, and the reason is because like in our hands we have also like some microbes that are in our skin. So we are trying to do not contaminate our samples, like trying to get the samples as pure as we can. But yeah, we are like spending our time here searching for bees. Back in Riverside, I process all the specimens collected in the laboratory, and as a first step, I extract the DNA to be able to identify the bacteria and the fungi that are living inside of the bee guts. Thank you so much for watching this, and if you have any comment or question, please contact me.
This is an aggregation of solitary bees. They're called Anthophora bees, and you can see them flying around these nests. Here in a little bit, you'll see a bee with lots of pollen. There she goes, right into that nest. That covering is called a turret, and now you're going to see another bee enter this nest, and oops, this is the wrong one. She's going to come back out and find the right nest here.
This little bee is called a Halictus ligatus, and Lena is studying them inside of their tiny little burrows. Sometimes we get lucky and they pop their heads out. Once Lena gets back to the lab, she uses the microscope to study the microbes inside of the bees. Can you see them moving around?
When you think of bees, you think of flowers, but these bees actually feed on meat. These are called vulture bees, and they're going to a chicken bait that we set to trap them.
Vulture bees live in the tropics, along with a lot of other types of bees that actually don't sting. They're called stingless bees.
This is a huge aggregation of the alkali bee. This is a managed bee bed, so alfalfa seed producers set up these native bee beds to attract these bees so that they pollinate their alfalfa flowers. These are really beautiful bees, amazing. This is in Touchy, Washington.